stream on my iPad. According to my phone, I'm live, but according to my iPad, it's still waiting. Try. Yes. There we go. Okay. So I am doing exactly what the title says I'm doing. I am crocheting a chunky Iron Man. If you're ever wondering what makes it chunky, well, it's the fact that I'm using bulky yarn. Weight 6 super bulky to be exact. I've got red, I've got this bronzish color, and I've got white. That's pretty much all you need to make Iron Man. Oh yeah, and I've got this big bag of stuffing. So let's do this. Oh, hang on. Should probably turn on the do not disturb. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna wait for more people to join before I say anything about future projects. Or maybe I won't. Depends on how long it takes people to join. Pattern-wise, I'm using a pattern I already wrote down years ago. In fact, I think the video is still on my channel. So there's that. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh good, someone tuned in. Hello, dear viewer. Just crocheting Iron Man. And they left. Just crocheting Iron Man because he's my favorite Avenger. So I do have live streams planned for the future. They're just not ready. One of them, I'm working on a coloring book. I've got 16 pages sketched out. And once I've sketched all the pages, I will be doing a live stream doing the ink layer, you know, the final lines. Hello. So as you can see, I am a good chunk of the way through Iron Man's head. As far as the squeaky hook, not really anything I can do about that. It wasn't squeaking during its previous project, and I'm not doing anything different this time, so I don't know why it's squeaking. All I can do is hope that it's not too terribly infuriating for my viewers. And we make the eyes. Just 2 double crochets of white each. As I was saying before, I do have more live stream projects planned, like inking a coloring book that I'm working on. When we get closer to the release date for the second FNAF movie, I will be live streaming crocheting one of the toy animatronics. And there is currently a poll on my Patreon to decide which one. Right now, Toy Chica is in the lead, with the options being her, Mangle, and the puppet. I know when the first movie came out, I did kind of a series crocheting the original 4. And some of you are probably wondering, well, why aren't you crocheting all the toys? Well, that's a lot of characters. And for this particular go around, I would rather make one really big plush instead of a bunch of tiny ones. If that makes any sense. So this particular go around, I'll just be making one big one instead of a bunch of tiny ones. Because that's what I want to do. So that's what I'm going to do. But like I said, there is a poll going on to decide who will receive the honor of being that big plush. I narrowed it down to my 3 favorite of the toy animatronics. Those being the puppet, because I've seen a lot of really good jokes being made about the puppet and the music box, and they're all hilarious. Mangle, because I just find Mangle adorable for some reason. I don't know how to explain it. I just think Mangle's cute. And Toy Chica, because it's funny. I like Toy Chica not because of how sexualized she is, but because of the jokes people have made about how sexualized she's been. Like, there's a series of videos called Team Fortress 2 versus FNAF. And in one of them, they go to the second pizzeria from the second game, and Toy Chica tries to seduce the spy, and he just shows her some of the fan art that's been made of her, and she is just immediately flabbergasted. And it's jokes like that that I love. But yeah, Mangle to me is just an adorable little goofball. The puppet has so many. The puppet has so much joke potential. Like that's the thing. My favorite animatronics really boil down to who has the best meme potential. Hang on, I need to grab a pair of scissors so I can cut off the white yarn. Fortunately, the scissors are not too far away. What is far away is my fucking coffee. There's the scissors. Set those there. My coffee is all the way over here. Coffee. And yes, I'm sitting crisscross because I like to. Really. Yeah, on occasion my scissors don't cut well. Which I know for some of you means it's time for me to get new scissors, but I did get new scissors and they don't cut well either. Back to crocheting. But yeah, oh, last night I ordered more blanket yarn in the colors to make Charizard. So be on the lookout for that. According to the app that I ordered them from, they should be here within a week. Half the items said 14 to 16, the other items, the other half said 16 to 18. So they should all be here by the 18th. And then I will live stream Crocheting Charizard, which will most likely take a couple of days because it's going to be a big Charizard. Like, I feel confident in the stream to crochet Iron Man because the pattern I'm using only takes about 2.5 hours. Granted, that's a long time for me to be streaming, especially if I don't have anyone to talk to. But I'm sure I can find a way to work around that. Maybe like a Discord call at some point. Because I'm using my phone as the camera, so I can't use my phone to call somebody right now without ending the stream. Charizard isn't my #1 favorite Pokemon, and actually no, that's a conversation to have during the Charizard stream, I guess. And I think I already talked about who my #1 is, Mudkip, because he's so damn cute. He's so cute and so strong. Like, I don't understand why everyone's like, oh, the water starter is the worst. It makes everything so easy. Like, so you're mad at him for being good? You're mad at one of the starters for being stronger than the others? Is that what I'm hearing? You little baby back bitch. Apple bottom beans, boots with the beans. The whole club was looking at beans. Normally I'm not awake this early, but the sun chose to blind my ass. And I was like, okay, guess I'm up now. Sun shined right through my window at just the right angle to hit me right in the eyes and tell me, hey asshole, it's time to wake up. And now I'm up and crocheting Iron Man. And the next time I see my dad, I might have to bring this Iron Man blush so I can like compare it to the plushies that I've made for him. Because I'm wondering how close the size is. She got them jeans, bottom apple, and the fur with the boots. The whole her was looking at club. bottom jeans, boots with the fur. The whole club was looking at her. The next thing you know, shawty got low. And for anyone wondering, yes, I am wearing an AC/DC back in black shirt while crocheting Iron Man. Because it's appropriate. This is the most appropriate time I could think of to wear this shirt. I do plan to continue with What the Freddy. I just haven't really felt like it lately. I do want to continue doing drawings. I just haven't been in much of a drawing mood these last few days. I'm also working on a video game. Again. It's called Run Run Rungeon, as you might have guessed, by the fact that I released part of the soundtrack here on the channel last week. It is an endless runner / RPG. You're in a dungeon and you can't stop running. And we can now cut off this color. I wonder, will this fit me as a hat? No, no it will not. Iron Man. Iron Man. She got them apple bottom jeans, boots with the fire, with the fire. The whole club is looking at her. She got low. She hit the floor, next thing you know. She got low. Shorty got low, low, low. Okay, so that is going through. Hello, IDK. How you doing? Good. Glad to hear you're doing good. Good to see men crocheting? Yes, yes it is. It is very good to see men crocheting.
Stop it. I need my water.
You need your water.
My water. Just keep the door to my room closed.
All right.
Dogs can sleep up here with you.
All right.
Or you can sleep out here with the TV on if you want.
Mm-hmm.
Sit. There you go.
So yeah, I crochet. My mom used to crochet. My sister crochets. My dad crochets.
What?
Talking to chat.
Oh. Oh. If you load the dishwasher,
Mm-hmm.
I would much appreciate it. Okay. I can do this. Boys, take care of your brother.
Yeah, my whole family crochets. Me, my mom, my sister, my dad, we all crochet. Well, my mom used to crochet, but then she had some issues with her wrist and her shoulder. So she doesn't crochet very much anymore. But she does still want to. My sister mostly makes sweaters. I mostly make plushies. And my dad mostly makes scarves, hats, and blankets. Mostly blankets and scarves. The head is almost done. It's only been a fucking hour. But anyway, yeah, like I was saying to IDK before they left, I don't really see an issue with men crocheting because my dad has been crocheting basically my whole life, if not longer. You know, I personally think everyone at some point or another should take up some form of an arts and crafts type hobby. And if that arts and crafts type hobby lets you make something with a purpose, even more so. You know, like I I don't think I've shown you guys how many daggers I've made out of wood, but I've made a lot of wooden daggers. Um, they're toys. They're not actually going to hurt. They're not actually going to impale anything. But it's something I found I can do, and I enjoy doing it. I haven't done it in a while, but I have plenty of material to do so with. But my two primary art forms are crochet and drawing. I've been drawing basically my whole life. Like for as far back as I can remember, I have always been drawing. And that's kind of how I wound up with the skill level in drawing that I'm at right now. Granted, there are still some things I can't draw to save my life. You know, I'm not very good at drawing backgrounds. Most of my drawings are just the character in a void. It is rare that I draw a background. Um, that's not to say it never happens. It's just I normally don't. And when I do draw a background, it's usually something very basic. Ooh, don't need that much. Maybe I do. How much more stuffing can I fit in this thing? Holy crap. I love drawing and crocheting too. Hell yeah. Drawing and crocheting for me are like my biggest art forms. Hello, Lee L. So, Lee, what do you usually crochet? I'm usually crocheting stuff like plushies, puppets, that kind of thing. Do you have a particular item that you enjoy crocheting the most? Oh, you like doing hats? Hats are awesome. Especially if you can make like a character type hat, like Iron Man's helmet. Even if it's just a beanie with a picture of the helmet on it, like it's still cool. Like in those smileys. But yeah, chonky amigurumi like this, where you're using blanket yarn, is something I only recently got into. Well, semi-recently. Last year, I made an Elder God Squishmallow. And then I think earlier this year, I made a chicken nugget pillow. Actually, I think they might have both been this year. I'm not sure. I don't exactly remember when I made that Elder God. I just know that I made that chicken nugget pillow as a tribute to Autism Awareness Month. And then last year for Christmas, I used chunky amigurumi to make a couple of gifts. So you hope that you have a very good day. I hope you have a good day too, Lee. I hope we all have a good day. That's the head finished. Only took an hour. But the rest of the pattern is actually fairly quick. Let me just make a long tail for sewing. I always overestimate how much of a tail I need for sewing, but I would much rather overestimate that than underestimate it. And yes, I'm one of those people who leaves a tail to sew with instead of just snipping out another strand. 'Tis the method I started with, 'tis the method I'm most comfortable with. Go there. Let me pull the pattern back up. Yes, it's my pattern, but there are certain things about it that I don't remember. Like how many rounds each limb is. I know the legs are like 1 round more than the arms, but I don't remember the exact number. Sorry if I bumped the camera. Scroll to... Okay, I guess we can do the torso next instead of the legs. Actually, no, it'd be easier if we make the arms first, and then just do this whole thing as like almost no stuff. Okay, so the arms are 4 rounds, which means the legs are going to be 5. Five, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. That's round 1. Here's round 2. I'm gonna make a little bit of a tweak to this pattern for this stream, but I don't think it's worth releasing a whole new pattern just for this little tweak, so I'm not going to. And we change to what would normally be gold, but I'm using bronze for this one because I don't have gold. stuff the arm. Get in there. Close it up. And that's one arm done. That's one arm finished. I need to use the bathroom. So I will be right back. Just make sure the dogs don't get the coffee. And I'm back. My issue with I'll get that for later. That's a whole different discussion. I was gonna start talking about Avatar: The Way of Water, and I realized, that isn't really relevant right now. But you know what? If it gives me something to talk about, I'll talk about it. Avatar: The Way of Water is one of the biggest oddities I've ever seen in the movie theater because it tries to give each member of the family their own subplot. And yet, half the movie feels like nothing's happening. That's well, and to top it off, it's 3D for over 3 hours. And let me tell you something. That shit gets old. It hurts after a while. Like, I don't normally have an issue seeing movies in 3D. Avatar: The Way of Water, my eyes were burning by the end of it. And I've been told that that's a sign of severe damage. So, take my advice. If you're gonna see a movie that's 3 hours long, don't see it in 3D. And if you're gonna watch a movie that's 3 hours long, watch Avengers Endgame. And we have the other arm. That's both arms finished. We've got arms. Now to make the legs. Three, 8, 9, 10. Why am I counting now? I already know it's 10. Boy. Yarn barf is already annoying. It's even more annoying when it's the thick yarn that breaks easily. Go slowly. Slowly and carefully. Where's the end? Ah, here it is. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Doodly doodly doo. Doodly doo. Doodly doo. Doo 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 doo. Doo 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 doo. My dang-a-ling, my dang-a-ling, I want you to play with my dang-a-ling. How the hell? I have no idea how that ended up not cutting the first few times. We're almost done. We're almost done. Oh my god, it's been an hour and a half and we're almost done. When I was a little bitty boy, my grandmother bought me a cute little toy. Silver bells hanging on a string. She told me it was my ding-a-ling-a-ling. My ding-a-ling, my ding-a-ling. I want you to play with my ding-a-ling. My ding-a-ling, my ding-a-ling. I want you to play with my ding-a-ling. Then my mama took And then Mama took me to grammar school, but I stopped off in the vestibule. Every time that bell would ring, catch me playing with my ding-a-ling, my ding-a-ling, my ding-a-ling. I want you to play with my ding-a-ling. Once I was climbing the garden wall, I slipped and had a terrible fall. I fell so hard I heard bells ring, but I held on to my ding-a-ling, my ding-a-ling, my ding-a-ling. I want you to play with my ding-a-ling, my ding-a-ling, my ding-a-ling. I want you to play with my ding-a-ling. Once I was swimming across Turtle Creek, then man, them snappers all around my feet. Sure was hard swimming across that thing with both hands holding my ding-a-ling-a-ling, my ding-a-ling, my ding-a-ling. I want you to play with my ding-a-ling, my ding-a-ling, my ding-a-ling. I want you to play with my ding-a-ling. Man, this here song ain't so sad. The cutest little song you ever had. To those who will not sing, those of you who will not sing, you must be playing with your own ding-a-ling. My ding-a-ling, my ding-a-ling. I want you to play with my ding-a-ling. My ding-a-ling, my ding-a-ling. I want you to play with my ding-a-ling. I have a sad story to tell you. It may hurt your feelings a bit. Last night I went into my bathroom and I stepped in a big pile of shaving cream. Be nice and clean. Shave every day and you'll always look keen. The running back takes a handoff from the quarterback. He makes a block. Oh, what a hit! He's out in the clear. He's going all the way. Oh, he slipped on a big pile of shaving cream. Be nice and clean. Shave every day and you'll always look keen. Here we are in this fine, yummy coffee joint. I hate to be picking a nit. But hey, dude, I ordered cafe latte supreme, and you brought me a cup full of shaving cream. Be nice and clean. Shave every day, and you'll always look keen. Here we are in the Atlantic Ocean. I thought that I'd cool off a bit, but accidentally I swallowed some water. Let me tell you, it tasted like shaving cream. Be nice and clean. Shave every day and you'll always look keen. And now, folks, my song, it is ended. I think it is time I should quit. If any of you feel offended, stick your head in a bucket of shaving cream. Be nice and clean. Shave every day and you'll always look keen. Spring is here, spring is here. Life is skittles and life is beer. I think the loveliest time of the year is the spring. I do, don't you? Course you do. But there's one thing that makes spring complete for me, and makes every Sunday a treat for me. Oh, the world seems in tune on a spring afternoon as we're poisoning pigeons in the park. Every Sunday you'll see my sweetheart and me as we're poisoning pigeons in the park. When they see us coming, the birdies all try and hide, but still go for peanuts when coated with cyanide. Oh, the sun's shining bright, everything seems alright as we're poisoning pigeons in the park. They call it, what was it? We've gained notoriety and caused much anxiety in the Audubon Society with our games. They call it impiety and lack of propriety and quite a variety of unpleasant names. But it's not against any religion to want to dispose of a pigeon. So if Sunday you're free, why don't you come with me and we'll poison the pigeons in the park? And maybe we'll do in a squirrel or two as we're poisoning pigeons in the park. We murder them all amid laughter and merriment, except for the few we take home to experiment. Oh, my heart will be quickening with each drop of strychnine we feed to a pigeon. It just takes a smidgen to poison a pigeon in the park. And the final stretch, guys. The torso. Two. 6. Seven. 8. 9. 10. We're almost done. We're almost done, you guys. Just gotta make the torso. And then we can assemble. What? What is it, Dozer? What is it? Why are you whining? What's the matter? 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 Is Timmy stuck in the well? Is Timmy stuck in the well? Oh, he wants to go out. I'll be right back, chat. Gotta let him out. Back up, back up, back up. Okay, that takes care of that. Last round of the torso. Woo. Almost done, guys. Nine. Now it's time to assemble the pieces. Harley, stop. There's no one out there, dude. It's just Dozer. I swear he'll bark at anything. Sometimes he barks at nothing. Literally, he'll just be barking and there will be no reason. Stop! Now to stuff the torso. Iron Man! Iron Man! My favorite Avenger. Ooh, bit of a hole in there, hang on. Bit of a hole in the back. Got to fix that. go. All fixed. Iron Man! Pew pew pew! Pew pew pew! Pew pew! Whoosh! 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 Pew pew! Pew pew! Whoosh! Hell yeah! I crocheted Iron Man live on stream with blanket yarn, and he's so cool. He's so awesome, and he's mine. He's mine. You can't have him. You can't have him because he's mine. But actually, I don't think I have his pattern for sale anywhere. Now that I think about it, hang on. Let me check Ravelry. Do I have his pattern in my Ravelry store? I do not. I'll have to fix that. I will have to put his pattern on Ravelry because right now I've got the pattern on my Patreon, but it's no longer assigned to a tier because the tier that it used to be on I removed because I was no longer doing weekly crochet. I will have to list his pattern on Ravelry. Now, granted, it won't be this exact Iron Man, but it'll be one similar. Because I don't feel like rewriting the pattern to make the accommodations. But yeah, I crocheted Iron Man live on stream. Yay! Iron Man! So cool. Okay, well, that's going to do it for this stream. I will hopefully see you guys next time I do this. All right. See ya.